What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, a favorite blind film critic, and we're going to get into An Autumn Summer. This is directed by Jared Isaac, and it stars Lilith Maxwell, who is amazing on Shrinking, which is one of the reasons why, when this film came across my pathway, they were like, "Sir," these people that come to me with tears in their eyes, and they say, "Sir, will you review this movie for me?" And I looked at it and I was like, Lukita Maxwell from Shrinking, who does she play? And I was like, oh, the daughter. I wasn't that nefarious when I said it. Maybe I was, but it's in the past. So, An Autumn Summer is a film that I truly could not tell you what this movie was about. Honestly, I saw it. I was like, I don't think this movie has a plot. I don't think this film has a discernible plot. It reminded me of Christmas Eve at Miller's Point, where you're just watching people have Christmas, and the plot is family, and here the plot is summer, and it's this group of people. There's sort of are these two leads, one of them being Lakita Maxwell, the other one is, I don't know his name. He doesn't have the credits that I did not come to the movie for him. So their big thing is trying to figure out, where do we go from here? College is approaching. We're not going to the same one. What does this mean for us? And it's not even like deep, dark, sort of Nicholas Sparksy, where it like gets really sad and they're like, in each other's feelings and just crying all the time. This is actually kind of like a light, sort of fluffy, warm hug of a movie where everything is fine, everything is fabulous. It takes place up in the Upper Peninsula area of northern Michigan. They reference Mackinac Island, so it's that area. It's beautiful up there. I love that area. It's like you get like a point, like a tiny little a bum just from locating up there. Been up there, love that area. So it feels like it's rich people problems. Like it's one of those films where everybody just has not a care in the world. We're just having a lovely time with our lovely food, our lovely houses, and everything is lovely. Everything's pretty. And if you've been up there during the summer, the weather is just way better than it is like basically everywhere else in the country, because even when it gets hot, you get sort of this cold, this cool at the end of where it rolls up in off the lake, so it doesn't just sit. Some areas of the country during the summer, you can get there and you're like, why the fuck is it still 100 degrees outside? So I guess it gets humid, and I'm a Florida critic. It's gross down here. I don't know why. Everybody comes down here for Disney during the summer, and it's like, uh, so, um, but yeah, so it's a nice area to set it in. I read the Jared Isaac, the director, that in order to get this closeness, he did some cool things. He put everybody together. They all stayed in his house together during the shoot. There's only like 6, maybe 8 people in the cast. I think there's 6. I'm gonna say maybe 8, just in case. Um, and so it's a very small cast to put them all together. And so they developed, an actual sort of dynamic relationship, bonds, friendship, all those kind of things. So the cast feels very natural, almost improvisational. Like Jared just kind of put a camera and then watched people being a family. But at the same time, it's tough when you need a plot. It's tough when you feel like you need a story. It's tough when you feel like, I need to know who these characters are, what their backstories are. I feel like I didn't get enough of that. So this is one of those things where it's like, stylistically, I feel like this is a warm film that there isn't really anything that's bad about it, except for the fact that for me, didn't work. And I couldn't get into it. I could not get into the lack of the plot, the story with the characters. I just wanted more. I needed more from this. It's a coming of age story, but it doesn't really feel like it came anywhere. That sounded weird. It didn't feel like it went anywhere. So it just kind of is. It's unoffensive. It feels like he's auditioning to direct The Summer I Turned Pretty, the movie. Like it's just, it's got that vibe to it, of everything is, but even happier than that. even that show has sort of more sadness to it. I can't really compare. It almost has like a Virgin River brightness to it, although it's better directed than that. It is better directed than an episode of Virgin River. I'm sorry, Virgin River fans. I know you feel like I just came out of nowhere at you, and it's like, listen, I still watch the series, but we've got to know that's not great television, right? Like, we know, like, it's falling under guilty pleasure. But it does have that sort of weird everything's gonna work out hopefulness, because what is the conflict? It's like conflict free. So it just, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. I'm sure it's shot well because that area of Michigan is beautiful, so it allows itself for the possibility to have lush cinematography. I'm a blind film critic, so I can't really be like, oh my god. Wouldn't that be weird if I was just like, by the way, it looks amazing? You'd be like, aren't you a blind film critic? Uh, I mean, I am. So I went up and touched the screen and it felt amazing. So it just, I used to be able to see, I can kind of visualize this is sort of like a layup for a cinematographer based on where it's located. Um, so if it looks bad, the thing is that the rest of the film sounds great. Sometimes an independent film sounds like an independent film. It sounds like they didn't have the budget to like fully complete the sound of the film, like the mixing and everything is a little like, this was low budget. Um, no, this film sounds like it's going toe to toe with any other film that is releasing. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It doesn't feel like this film had like suffered from a low budget. It didn't feel like this film was dragging. It just like cool idea. And yes, he gets what he gets what he came for. He gets this really familial aspect from his cast, but I don't know that that's enough. I felt very iffy about Christmas Eve at Miller's Point. I ended up seeing that film twice. This is mid for me, and I know I recently had an exchange with one of my subscribers on another video about the how we've sort of lost that. We've lost that mid. We've lost just okay. We've lost it's all right. You know, like, where did that go? Because everything is, you know, fresh or rotten. Everything is a recommend or not recommend. And then I can't recommend this. I don't know who I'd recommend this to. It's a specific film for a very specific type of people who are willing to sit there and watch a film that is nearly void of plot just to enjoy the craft and to enjoy the way that the cast, from what I could tell, from what I've learned about the film, the script was left a little bit open to improvisation anyway. Like, it was encouraged so that everything could feel lived in. It does. It just doesn't have a plot. Life doesn't have a plot sometimes. Sometimes you just have a family get together, a gathering, and nothing happens. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be on screen, on camera. So, I I unfortunately just I can't endorse An Autumn Summer, but I don't think that there's that much that's wrong with the film, so I'm not trying to tank and say run from this film, but I can't give it the fresh. I can't give it the endorsement because it just doesn't. I don't know who I'm. At the end of the day, you came here. There are thousands of critics and people and YouTube channels and TikToks, and it's just all over the place. And the only thing that we have is our honesty and integrity as to what we actually like, and trying to stand by a film and be willing to fight for it. And when I get into like right middle of the road films, those are the hardest ones to fight for, because it's like on a whim I could be convinced to go the other way. And right now I'm going rotten 5.9 out of 10 for An Autumn Summer. I'm sure Jared Isaac has done a lovely job crafting the film and putting it together, but he forgot that sometimes films need a little bit more plot, a little bit more characterization in them. Sometimes we are a little bit more interested and then just sitting back and doing sort of a voyeuristic take on people who are not actually family. Like this isn't like a documentary where we watch, where he decided to film his own family on vacation in the summer. No, he casts people, he casts actors in a film with a plot, with a story, but the plot and story are just kind of really thin, nearly non-existent. So that's my review for An Autumn Summer. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.